morning, everyone. I'm Sergeant Hefner. I'm going to be teaching you about the JSLIST suit. Before we get started, I just want to make sure you all have your suits out. Everyone ready? Okay. So, first things first, this is our overview. This is everything we're going to cover today. We're going to start off with the purpose, and as we go through the purpose, I'm going to have you inspect your suits along with me, okay, just to make sure that all your snaps, zippers, buttons are working properly, okay? Next thing we'll go into is the specifications. There are some limitations with the suit. There's also a lot of improvements from the suits previously that we've worn. Okay. And, all right, so basically the purpose of the suit. JSLIST stands for Joint Service Integrated Lightweight Suit Technology. So that's a mouthful, so just call it JSLIST suit. And basically, this suit is very much improved from the old style, because if you remember the old suit, you always used to get charcoal all over your body and such. With this suit, the charcoal is actually woven in, it's impregnated into the fabric. It's also lightweight, you don't have the rear snaps, etc. For those of you that have worn it, you know the ease of use is a little bit better. Still takes about 8 minutes to get it on start to finish, but there are significant improvements. So what will the suit protect you against? Basically, if you're in an environment where there's chemical or biological use, in a seaborne environment or there's radioactive dust particles, this suit will protect you if it's worn properly. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay. So again, what does it replace? Our old battle dress overgarment. Okay? That green, the flyer suit, the one that you're wearing today, remember that old suit? That's obsolete now, as well as the battle dress overgarment. And our sister services also had different suits. Now this is going to be used for all services. Okay, so some limitations. If you've ever been through the deployment line, you know that this suit comes in a vacuum sealed bag, okay? Once you open that, you have to start your shelf life, okay? So you don't want to do that. When you go to deploy, you want to keep it in the bag as long as possible. Then when your threat increases, take it out of the bag, you have to start your shelf life. So as you can read up there, if you take it out of the bag, it's only good for wearing it for 45 days, and then once it's out of the bag, 120 days, okay? So that's why I say you want to keep it in that vacuum sealed bag as long as possible. You can wash it up to 6 times. There's actually a little patch on the inside of your jacket where you can mark your launderings right here. So again, another improvement, the old suit, they told us not to wash it, which was really nasty after a day of exercising out in the field, so now we can at least wash the thing. Okay, so now we're going to go through the inspection. What I'm going to have you do, bottoms first, and I'll explain why I want you to take bottoms first. Because what's the major change in the components of this suit? The suspenders. So that's why I say start with the bottom, because too many times I've seen someone put on the top, put on the pants, and then their suspenders are hanging, or they try to put their suspenders on over the top, and it just doesn't work. So, I know some of you got issued a bag this morning. Biggest thing, obviously, when you go through the deployment line, they're going to do your measurements and give you the proper size. It's kind of important, because if it's too big, you get contaminants in. If it's too small and you can't button it, which we've seen that in class before, that's not a good situation either. So the first thing, just make sure your suspenders work. Okay, and they are adjustable, so depending on your height, if you're short like me, you won't have to adjust it at all. Okay, just make sure that those snap and function correctly as designed. The front, same thing, you've got 2 buttons. Okay, you just want to make sure that those function properly as well. Now if you go down towards the bottom, what's the biggest thing that we teach with contaminants? Right, you have to have a snug fit so nothing can creep up into on your BDUs. Anything that becomes contaminated, obviously we're going to have to get rid of at that point when you guys process through the decontamination line. So the best way to protect your undergarments and your body is to make sure that everything is snug fitting. Okay, so you have those Velcro pull strips. That's what's going to tighten it around the bottom of your boot. And then same thing with your waist. You also have Velcro straps to tighten it around your hips. Okay? Any questions with the pants? Okay. Alright. So, now we're going to talk about the top.
Hey.
Hi, Colonel Crane.
Hello.
Okay. So what's the major change with this jacket? The hood's now integrated, right? So we don't have to wear that crummy plastic hood anymore. Okay, so same rules apply when you're doing the inspection on the top. You just want to make sure that all the zippers, all the Velcro functions as designed. Okay? You have your wrist Velcro, make sure it fits snug over your gloves. Okay? Then when you're doing your hood, one important piece that people forget, when you're going into Mop 4 and you ensemble all your top, your bottom, your gloves, you put your hood up over your mask, your barrel locks. Okay, this is what's going to seal the garment underneath your neck. Okay, if you leave it open, you're basically exposing your neck to those contaminants. So you want to make sure that you have a buddy do your check and actually do your barrel locks. Okay, everyone in here has worn this before, I assume, so we know how to do that. Okay, great. All right, so that's the gist of the inspection for JSLIST suit. Okay, does anybody have any questions?
How do you know if your suit got contaminated?
How do you know? Well, if you're wearing M9 tape, which is it's a component of the suit that you have to wear once you go into Mop 2, that's going to turn any shade of red to let you know. That'll be your visible sign of contamination. Anyone else?
Where on the suit are we supposed to wear the M9 tape?
It's 6 locations. It's both wrists, both biceps, and both ankles. Any other questions?
Once it's contaminated, can you wash it or does it get discarded?
It gets discarded. You'll be refurbished. You'll go through the contamination control area, and then that'll be that. You'll get new stuff. So, all right. Any more questions? All right. Well, with that, I say thank you for coming. And I'm Sergeant Heffner, and I will see you all soon in the future.